Welcome to Afri-Culture with yours truly, Larva McAfee, aka Nicole, with my special guest, Torgbui Ngoyifia of Aflawu, Gakli, Grand Lomé, where we discuss Afri-Culture. It is all about Afri-Culture. Let's get it started.
Come and have a unique experience in Dallas, Texas.
Ago na miapete milemiakpe bemiva 32nd annual Sienna Convention Le Dallas Fort Worth. Dallas. Big D. Miva yabakpong tepe. Aha. Sienna 2025. Mano bobo edolo. Miva midwaza. We were me at the Cornwall Friday evening. Sunday me our picnic. Me our church service. And all les anzazata miniva.
Tata nyo play phone mi do bonso anami lo. Mi do bonso anami apata mi de kuku na bebe mi pro mi ape famille o valo. Mi pro mi ape famille o mi afa po Dallas da. Mi adu azan. Azalo.
Azase.
Azale kongbe.
Azale wa.
Welcome, guys, to Afri-Culture. You are welcome to Afri-Culture right here on Sienna TV and chatting with Nicole at the same time. I am here as your host, Larva McAfee, Nicole, as you know me. So welcome to Afri-Culture again. We thank God for another day today. He gave us another day to live today. So we thank God for his grace and mercy today. And I welcome you. I did not get to change, and this thing looks weird, but we are here. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. I know you could be someplace else, doing something else, but you are here. So I thank you for joining us today. Fofonye dada nyo no vinyom dak bena mi be mi va kame kudo mi egbea. Mi va joindre mi egbea le Afri-Culture, le Sienna TV chatting with Nicole. Mi bava mwaji mi a discuter ndo poda mi abe culture, mi abe tradition surtout. Black ele mi asi enuko le ke mi jere na noro le ke mi do la no mi do na zon le ko mi zon na black ke mi kpla le Africa mi ave culture me a egbe ambe mi ava mi a discuter maso eso do Torgbui be maso blona mi a discuter mi a ko be enyake le Torgbui si ne ba expliquer na mi ne mi le wenyoro wa ba expliquer na mi voa mi ave kpla ke you know mi a no kumia to so kpla mi la Africa eye kuivedo mbe ma expliquer na mi gamea ende be ni ke mi la continue mi do la no continue plak ni plak do ke nglona bena you know tradition le vevena Africa be tradition jonatinam ni so ke mi va moaji kwa bla nglo bena tradition do le sibe mi abe vi obe plak enyi nke jonatinam kodo mi abe eta biobio enyi enu ameve ke onyi nu ke jonatinam le mi abe tradition ame amunya ameve won po wa enu ameve won le evevere na mi abe vi plak donc a me ma Torgbui va fifia mi a discuter de o ne ba expliquer o na mi guys. I like I said, I thank you. I thank the Lord for bringing us again this afternoon. You know, he chose us to be breathing today, so I am so grateful for him. I am grateful for him for Torgbui. He's on a line for me right now. I'm so grateful for internet and the lights. Right now, he has lights where he is. So I am grateful for that because we don't always get lights in Togo. It's difficult to have lights. So I thank God for lights right now that Torgbui is with me right now. So we are going to talk about some of the tradition of upbringing, the things that the way we were raised back in Africa. So we are going to discuss that today. I'm going to share that with Torgbui, and Torgbui is going to elaborate a little bit and then tell us if we're doing it wrong or how we're supposed to do it. But I'm super excited because I told you guys last time when I was here with Abla, and I said there are things that I like about our African culture. There are things you cannot say that because people, when people say I'm a Christian, and then they're like, you say you love tradition, you love culture. How can you be a Christian and love culture? You can do both. You can be a Christian and love culture because not everything in our tradition is bad. Not everything that you have to do. You have to be selective. If you're a child of God, you can still love your tradition, but be selective. There are certain things that just wicked that we do that you can't be an African, you can't be a Christian and still practice everything. You know what I mean? So you have to be mindful. The things that are against God's word, you have to stay away from. But I was telling you guys that I love the way we raise our children, the way the way we raise our children. I love it. And I also love the diary process. That's why I can't wait for my own diary, right? I love the diary process, the way we are supposed to do it. So Torgbui is here with me today, and we are going to, I'm going to share some of the tradition that I like, some of the upbringing, the things that we raise us with, and he's going to elaborate on that for us today. And we are grateful. I'm just super grateful for lights, because there hasn't been lights in Togo for a lot of cutting of lights. So I'm grateful for that. So we're going to take advantage of it. So with that being said, please share with everyone you know. If somebody's on a call, they should be, please share with them, especially your young kids, your young people. Allow them to join the call so that we can learn together. And please subscribe to Siana TV, subscribe to Chatting Wonoko if you have not already, and also check out the rest of the videos. Let us just share, do your part, just share with everyone so that we can learn and keep our tradition going. All right, we don't want this to die, especially not to our young people. So I thank you for being here, and I'm submitting everything in God's hands. So with that being said, I'm gonna bring Torgbui with me, but I want you guys to comment. Let me know where you're joining from. Let me know who you are, so that I can shout out to you. All right. So let's bring Torgbui on. Torgbui.
Yeah.
Torgbui, where's on?
Yo, Ochawe Zola, Pomoto.
Ahometo, review.
Bon.
Edome.
Edole Nyede.
Edome nyori abeseme lesesere.
Abeseme lesesere.
Nyada kpena mau.
Kena mau.
Enyo Torgbui adogbe. Nyabo olwe la adogbe. Donc amatati on adogbe vide. Adogbe na amone mia doeji.
Akpe kaka. Akpa mi chavolu mauga kitikata adawoto wasiofo emi fumle. Medogbena miabe evefiaga Torgbui agokoli enegoa yenye eveawo katã be fia le xexeme. Ke ganye Togo fiawo katã be president alo zimenɔla. Madokuma to dio madogbena Dr. Chachu Siana be executive so katã board of directors so katã madogbena eye madogbena starting with Nicole ameji mato kere Siana TV nchi madogbena soanye kle vinyo pete amesiama kupona mi le jipe kle pipo kwa madogbena amesiama lo nyabanu kwala o mi atole vivirento Diabanu Palau, Niaweli, Yemieli, Amiga Kwemi, Diava, Miaoreka, Miasonu, nous en serons Enyamiabanu Saint, après la Amasiame.
Akpe Torgbui wezon kaka mi dakpe no chan. Wezon kaka lo. Torgbui, kombena mi mnyaga keme tane ne le miasi na zoa ezole miasi fifiare mia commencé mia commencé mia be no fifi obenu kelasi wa take advantage donc mia take advantage na ezokele miasi fifia Torgbui egbeare bena and I'm gonna say this in English to make it easier so it doesn't take long. Torgbui apimia be tradition glona na movena. I always tell people, let me say it in English. I always tell people like I love tradition. Like I said, that's why I'm here doing Afri-Culture here, and I have you here. And one of the things that I love is the way our upbringing. Leko plana mi, leko fiomi, plana and leko raise me doa. Donc à Torgbui enyaro le endo mi fiomi mi ano mi ato fiomi are mbe ma so do gbo are na puna expliquer na mi akpowe na est-ce que normalement les traditions amanene be yine wa ma lo alo ne enyare la so pe na mi. Donc the tradition, I'm going to tell you one of the tradition that I like and I continue to carry on with me. It is we said in our tradition, in African tradition, it is accepting gift. No. When somebody give you a gift, you're supposed to accept it with two hands. And when you accept it with two hands, it shows gratitude. It shows gratitude. Instead of, somebody gives you a gift. Now, me song no kwa so lori kaso where munyo. Oglon be asa me alo me ve so hwe. No so alo me ve so hwe a. Et oh le son gratitude quoi. Yo so le hwe. Le ko est-ce que nya o ya? Is that true, Torgbui?
Yo medakpe ejoji na be miano sro nu yawo kenye mia denu wana le mia debe konua mia le madasi elo dudore globe duko alo kota ike menya ife de konua ela be amerika fakla fa uwi a fakla fa alo amade na melesio o khoje na lesi alo amade ke echi bodome medel amade ke ucholu vole eta ne de konua ke jena melasio nuko melasio asi ho ha melenchio de konua musaye onye enya ina bio enya gane de konua globe miano glonya yawo na miabe jijima ano kwe ano gbona jijima yo kana kpasa odoa o cha ono ma mi yana de konua ye nyama ta de konua menye vodu re kaban komato de konu de konu ba subo oli de konu even Christianity ya amado ba konu ba subo Islam amado de ba konu ba subo kwa vo de kameli enkoto de konu yamele mele kaka mela va que agbora peut-être Maoula va créer we don't know
après
donc anya ina glo yin be enunana mi gbona be le na me na onua cholo re ka cho na onua mi gbona be ena alo de ka bo me kwe alo
love
ne alo de ka bo nya me kwe nuka alo
love
evele ke fio be no nanu wa alo ve no chofo ya efia akpedada pejesi efia ubudeda me na onua enfame to nyebe ehonua pleji
there you go
wo lolon ekure nuamti
and one thing
donc na me na onu na maga cho sibidi reka ba cho no no cha na lonua be ya debubu amanchi adebubu nuka mana onchi afia appreciation and gratitude akwakudo alomeve akpe
yeah. Okay, so Torgbui just confirmed it is true that our tradition, it is very, very important. He's saying that when we call Dekonu is our traditional things, he said there's no voodoo that is named that. So it is not, has nothing to do with, witchcraft or anything like that. It's just our tradition. And Torgbui does confirm that if you do have two things, somebody, even if they give you something with one hand, accepting it with two hands, it shows gratitude. It shows thanks you. It shows that your heart is in it. You appreciate the person and you respect the person. So this is something that Torgbui it's in my head that when I'm receiving it, I always receive it with two hands, and I'm always grateful. You have to be grateful, even if you don't like it, even if it's something that is beneath you. That person took the time to give you something. You always have to be grateful. I'll always have to teach my son, even if you don't like it, you have to call and be grateful and thank the person back. So Torgbui agreed that it is something we have to carry on. Somebody give you a gift, no matter how small, no matter how big, you accept it with two hands. It shows gratitude. It shows that you accepting it with appreciation, deeper appreciation. So that's what Torgbui is confirming. So I thank Torgbui for confirming that. I'm gonna keep it on, keep teaching everyone that I meet. So Torgbui, there are another thing about this that I did not have on my list. Voglona bena ne amere no noa ne nukea. Ola fon dekeme, ola dakbena me and dekeme. this is another thing that when somebody does something to you in the morning, we walk. Olaya me agbola dak pe ne wa. Come on my things so if I am me go we didn't me. And that's something that I do when somebody does something to me. The next day, the next morning, I make sure I call the person to thank them. Even though I thank them before, I still call the person the next morning to thank them. It is a upbringing that is still in my head that I still practice today. Torgbui, do you agree with that, or it has something? What do you say about that?
Oh, sure. Let me be Africa, be culture me. I konu baja. I wanna be Africa to katakluya. I like be konu ami wani. Nama na onua. The very day ona onua. Me bless feel like I be kwa love. Dakpe na me. Même jour ou bien même temps au dakpe na me. But kia. Odula ga dakpe na me ayam a dakpe ne.
Right.
Le kotado mea na ameade kele closer to the person and closer to you.
Yes, yes.
Mesi ena enu ya cho. Bene dakpe ne de
Right.
utepe ale surprise.
Right.
Mama okomokwa iko ma yu ebe Sister Nicole be madakpe na ye.
Right.
Abo ntabakpe o. Abo abe tsobe ena enu ya leke.
C'est ça.
No say na mabucha.
Right.
If your appreciation and gratitude.
And also testimony. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Right. Right.
Donc akpedada enye economy to l'Africa be nyadakpe akpedada do holia. That plumber in ya yide amaina na onu amia igbo. Maganya wo de kayo. Ni avai adakpe ne.
Right.
The nanu kebenaye tsobai. Okra holia atana kakatomegbe ama elana fume.
Right. Now I'm surprised. Yeah. I
Comme yabai agareji adakpe. Ekpobe dada enya nu gade mawu toto hono sobolisa ke wajikusi adrawa. Akpeda na jina iha.
Yep.
Yeah, even nature inye be amao na nyakpedala. Yenu ya akpedada ewa na ibe na dakpe na me amea. Agale gbona ma be monu popo li be ga we na ewu na na.
Egba we na ekwe.
Ene mai akpedada le. Le miao be culture me yo mi docho Yoruba me mia be culture na akpedada ya ga sanunto no nanu mia oh no mi nana mea okuna o okushe okuyometa gbogbo ni pashe o le mi si
gbogbo de
kene enyamo be gbogbo na wa olagbanu dialogue go me agbanu na mi nu
let's go. That's the secret.
yeah akpedada efiobe ba une yira.
Amen.
Pine kwela une do tepe. Evagoa pojijore ntio.
Yes,
Etogoa nye be melikuo gasiagame melavera no now.
Right.
So idia ewu amekere na munua enye nu tepe wala.
Right.
Donc akpedada enu vire ko benyi voa elolo ye etrona nu subo le akpedala. Donc nemi manya akpedala oa enu la wo mi la chikonami. Donc Africa mi dejesi akpedada be dope very high.
Right.
Dejesi akpedada be dope nto.
Yeah.
Na mare wonu na wa na dakpe even le nyonu ogbo kafla na enye onu sroto alo azialasio yo kpla alo ziao yemi mlonyi yemi wo ŋutsu kple ɔnuve gododoa nyɔnua wòla dakpe game yemi ɔvɔ
Ola dakpe na nyɔnua.
no ŋutsua ɔnua la dakpe na ŋutsua.
Okay.
It's about put life in you.
Okay. And why are you now I learned. Oh, really?
And that man will always open his wardrobe and open his treasure.
Wow.
And I mean, I'll give you whatever you want. Yeah,
That's a secret.
Yeah, alekebe chua ne nyakpedala nea le gama mea. Attention. Mangro gbede.
Oh, wow.
Kide kpekpe kebedo nyom de kpekpe ne ŋutsu agbanye kpevucha ne secret ma elewe asiwa wala le la dari.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Wala le la dari.
Wow. Okay,
Yes.
I have to tell you guys this. This is exciting. Okay, so so Torgbui is saying it is very important. Like I said, I have learned that when somebody does something to you, next day you need to call and thank the person. Torgbui is saying is crucial. It is in our tradition, in our blood. No matter what it is, you're showing when you call somebody and thank them, the next day you even call them, even the third day, you surprise the person. You know, high level, I'm explaining this in a high level, you surprise them. Torgbui is saying even sometimes you can even call somebody else to thank the person for you. It shows testimony, it shows gratitude, it shows that you are so grateful for what they did for you. And this encourages this person. It would encourage him next time. He will not hesitate to do more for you, right? And he will not hesitate to even do it to other people. You know what I mean? Because of this gratitude. Gratitude is something that is push. It's a push. It is an encouragement for people to do more. So we keep that really, really, it is very, very important in our tradition. So gratitude is important no matter what it is that person did to you. It's very important that you do that. So I am glad that I continue to have that. Every time somebody does something to me, I call the next day. I appreciate it. And I call the next day and show them gratitude. You know, an example, I was at church. You know, there's this brother did something for David. He helped my son. And I went to the wife and I told the wife, please thank your husband for me. You know, thank your husband for me. But to her, it was weird. Why am I? Because they don't know. In our tradition, I go and say, you know, your husband did this and did that. Please thank him for me. He did this for my son. Thank him for me. To them, she was confused. You know what I mean? So I had to explain that to us that in our tradition, that's how we do it. And when I call people next day to thank them, I told them where I come from. I was raised that when somebody does something to you, call them the next day and appreciate them. So it is something that we need to carry on. And it's very, very important that we do that. So we don't want to lose this, not just because we're in America, we're in Europe, we're going to lose it. Don't lose it. Even if people don't know, explain it to them. In my culture, that's how we do it. We appreciate people. So let's carry this on. And then this thing Torgbui said that I'm like mind blowing. I just learned it right now. Torgbui said that even in our tradition, he said husband and wife, when you finish, you know, you may love, I'm gonna put it there, you may love after you may love to, you know, your husband and your husband, and you may love, let's do it that way. After you do that, Torgbui is saying the women, you're supposed to thank your husband. You guys heard me, right? That's what Torgbui, that's what you said, right? We're supposed to thank, exactly. We're supposed the woman's supposed to thank the man, your husband. You're supposed to thank the man for an awesome job. However you want to do it, but you need to thank your husband. And Torgbui is saying, if you are a woman who always thanks your husband after you may love, after your time together, it is something that the man will never forget. It is something that the man will always open his heart for you. It is something that the man is happy. It's gratitude, something that will change his life. So ladies, this is a secret I did not know, but I'm going to write it down. I'm not going to forget, right? So Torgbui is saying, this is something you should start doing to your husband. If you didn't know before, do this to your husband. When you finish, no matter how short, no matter how long it was, no matter how awesome it was, no matter how, even if you want more of it, thank him anyway. So next time you'll do it even better. next time.
Yeah.
So this is what we learned today. So I want you to remember this and try it out. And if it doesn't work out, come back and let us know. But Torgbui is saying this is women. You're supposed to thank your husband after your time together. You're supposed to say thank you because gratitude is something that is very important in our tradition. That's high level of my explanation for this one. All right, Torgbui, akpekaka. So the next one, it is to respect our elders. We're supposed to respect our elders. It is an essential. Somebody is older than you, you're supposed to respect them. It's just something that we learn and we'll carry on. You expect your elders, and there's a lot of things that comes through your elders. You respect them, not just respect them. For example, when you're eating with your elders, you're supposed to, when you're sitting down with older people, even today, I carry this with me. When we are sitting down eating and older people are among me, I don't touch the food unless they touch first. For example, I don't do that first. So we're supposed to respect our elders. Torgbui, what do you have to say about that? Mi le gbo be na mi abu mi aba mega ho mi ato mi ame kegbe sinwu mi kwa mi bu na o ne mi le dunu ntocha normalement o ma so alo ma dun dudua o ma toucher dudua tutu bon amega ho la toucher dudua ken gbe o chan la so alo do mi. Torgbui le ko kwero.
Mi dakwe nu yawa o le vivine egbe a keme va we ale gbegbe be mi su mozolao mi va ichi anyigba vovovo jia enyo be mi akonua mi ale bene ale medasi nya to me a nya ina gba fifia ko da anururu ntia. It's a family culture and a relative culture and a social culture. Agoma tome ye ole. Yomi hoa. Chubia ba homea. O fiana na mi pere hadoma gbanonomea. Fiana am meminye. Apoime o remilea. O jena zireka.
Right.
Enya Africa to bevito. West Africa to bo. Ni akoiva. Do you want to channel mianu Ghana, Togo, Benin?
Benin.
Yeah, mia do yawa. Kule mi wana mde. So Nord kakava suda. Mi wana kule. Mende ma wo deviela do plona magaho. Wo deviela do plona ametiti.
Amesisi.
Ye madota flache habe. De mia de konu mea. Ma bol America alo ye vote. Ne nyɔnu danua nyɔnu ke la do kpɔ nyɔnu ke la gaba fɔgba la ba kplɔ le Africa ame yi kplɔ banyigba
yes
miawo nye Africa tɔwo nenema fi wɔne ne ɖeviwo le mia sia ne nyɔnua ne gbe danu mɛm kaka ye ŋutɔ gbe tɔ ŋdɔ koa ɖeviwo va do kplɔ na wo tɔ xoxo menye be woanɔ ye la gagblẽ na wo. Wole ready. Be ne mama gbe danua vɔ gbe ku desi kpoa wola va foe ava do kplɔ. Amanye number. Number 2. Ne bo zu be enuɖu yi doa ye woku do ametsitsi atavi nyine grand frère papa grand mama no. Ami amekegbe tsi wo ko. Nenye wo kple le nua. Ne mi do kplɔa ne ganye wo gba tutu kplɔ dzi gba do kplɔ tsã o ma da si agba me. Hafi ya na ba da si agba me. O mo wane. Devia o la te ametsitsi la ka ɖeka ne ke voa afi o hana kploro. Honneur gã ɖe be nyina le mia de le Afrika be na ɖu nu kple ametsitsi. Honneur ŋutɔ be nyi be grand frère alo grand sœur nakpɔ alo nɔkutɔ alo atavi kple nyine alo amedzro nava kɔyɔ be Niki alo Frank va ɖu nu kple Atavi alo nyune alo grand frère
Yeah.
wa honneur
Right.
quand
Right.
yes honneur quand même donc le nous dudu ya mea respect ganali
Yeah.
so ijia neibe ni le dunua feel very interesting neibe mi le dunua na wo de adopo amatitia basi
Encore
poto la
double.
gbame omudo droit
La cité.
aklolo atitela amatitia gbo na manya wawa ola kosi clutch ya kore mo na free ye o kosi clutch ya kore mo na ucha omudo ogu ya mo kwenye gubanu ona punishment ye
Right.
boa mima advice parao alo miama metichi obe ola no well manyo enye abuse of power voa le miabe dekonu me esogbe
It's so big. Okay.
you understand
Yep.
c'est un peu méchant quoi
Yeah. Fia. De viola your police no you all fia.
c'est un peu méchant mais les miao be regenua bon moi au fion
Do fia no
parce que
ye.
les Africains miami chona eba chokora na machafa
Yeah.
bon le mia oui to bo be nye amadaka agbato alade deka bo mia de konu penu wanawa otovovo anigba yodi mi chocha otovovo only one blood we have.
Yeah.
But all of the things are different. Donc,
Right.
ne le plamachichia, ne dopucha, umdo droit, adasila. Ola no agbanu, ano waye, zare na kavide, ina machichia du no vokla loa, afi weya aklo. Amanya deka. Efegua, neibe adokplona amejuru, atenya machichi, ye na kwa amejuru. Ye na do kplɔ na amedzro ye wokple mi le ɖunua womuɖo droa ne wo aƒetɔa eɖɔƒoa wòla klɔ si le amedzroa gbɔ ne klɔ si le amedzroa gbɔ efia be wòle gblɔ na amedzroa be oɖuna nu
C'est ça.
kekɔ lɔtea wòtsa ɖoa lɔte
Yeah.
kɔ na amegã meɖɔ na amedzroa meɖɔ ƒo tsa kafɔtɔ dzo klɔ lɔ ɖe. Elle est obligée.
On est obligé la clore.
Elle est le sigbe et y a pas de mais. Quoi à part toi mi donc zare quoi. À part toi le jo. À part toi le jo. Elle tu veux rentrer là toi boy.
Right, exactly. Elle est nyao jo.
Et tu avais elle est nyao. Donc ne etenya metiti ne okpla medzro ile dunua o ma klo la alole amedzro gbo ne gbado pocha ola no you ano you ano plate ne mi ba share plate agba vovovo cha ne wa na du to vocha ola no
funa
abale ke to me va mi ire New York ye mi ire Arab Sofa Restaurant, Clemensa, que me le vinia, et à d'offre. Bon, un porte le plonchi, un porte le plonchi, le castamnam, ça a à choix pour dire à nous. Ça a pour ma clolo, non, mais maintenant à clolo. Donc, on va l'Amérique, équipe bien avec culture.
Exactly.
C'est ça.
Yeah.
Ta menye akpamaha yenye ma yawa makrono mesia mebe demi le wa mission yawo kemi le wa one tagbagba na wa kwe
no one play exactly yeah
menye ta gugu yo enu le me kenye wacho menye wa de do no twa olagba twa ne wa be viocha Africa pa me keke kenye kesino nami kenye research qu'est-ce qu'on quoi
Kesi no benyila. Kesi no benyina me. Yeah. Yeah.
Ochoa, then Magava Abui Abachiasi, Olabanuka, we left Torgbui. Namimanya Wawa, Ochoa, Africa, Elabachiasi.
Elachi. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kana Africa, Mibu, Nukochang Balemiasio. Who are you?
Who are you?
And when they ask us who are you, we cannot respond.
No. Okay, Torgbui Akpekaka. I'm gonna try to do this as a high level, as we were saying. I asked Torgbui, and Torgbui is telling us respecting elders is very, very important. We talk about eating. We eating when you're eating with an elder. You're supposed to. You can't touch the food unless the elder does. The elder is supposed to start the food before you join him. And when the elder, when you're finished eating, you cannot leave the table until the elder finish eating. Even if you're full, no matter what, even the food is not even tasty. You're supposed to wait till the elder has finished. In our culture, you're supposed to, as a young person, you're supposed to set the table. You're supposed to prepare everything. Even though you prepare everything, you cook the food, you did everything, you still have to wait till the elder start the food. Put his hands in the plate before you do. And you cannot, as a host, if you're hosting somebody came to you, you're hosting somebody, and you are eating, you're not supposed to get up before your guest gets up. You're not supposed to finish and say, oh, I am done, while your guest is still eating. Because imagine if you leave, your guest is here, it's a message that, okay, you eating too much, you need to leave. You need to stop eating. So you have to wait for your guest to finish before you finish. Even if you're full, you're supposed to sit there and playing with it, have a conversation, take once in a while, you still put your hands in there, just be there until they are done. You cannot finish before especially get up before your guests, before elders. You have to keep that in it's a tradition. Torgbui was giving us an example of his son when he was in New York, and that's how they were in a restaurant. He finished eating, but he sat there having a conversation. He refused to wash his hands because he was waiting for Torgbui to finish first. Because when you teach your children this, remember the Bible said, teach your children the way they should go, and when they grow, they will not depart from it. That's what the Bible tells us. So when we teach our children this, they will not depart from it. Even in New York, he's still practicing. It's still in his head. Even today, I still have all these things I do. I have to teach people who don't know. In our culture, this is how we do it. So Torgbui is saying, when we are watching this thing that we're discussing here, don't think that is a waste of time. It is a tradition. It's important things that we have to learn, and especially to our children, because if we don't do it, we're going to lose it. We are going to next time they're going to ask, who are you? And you won't even be able to tell who you are, where you come from. So it is very, very important. So you have to respect your elders. You cannot get up before they get up. And Torgbui is saying, when you have people in your house, you cannot leave and when your guest is still in the house talking to you, because if you leave the house, the guest is really you telling them to leave, that it is time for you to leave. So you cannot leave your guest while the guest is, unless you're going to buy something and come back, then that's different, but you cannot leave. And when you eating, your guest is eating, you finish eating, you get up, you're telling them they're eating too much. You know what I mean? It's time for you to finish. So Torgbui is saying these are important things in our culture that we have to continue to learn and keep it and practice it, and do not let it depart from us. And do especially your children. You cannot allow it to die with you or die with our parents. We have to carry on. And then we are talking about eating. You have to always make sure that you are respecting your elders, and you have to make sure that you are doing your due diligence. And one thing Torgbui is saying, Torgbui, you're supposed to eat with your right hand. That is something in our culture. Unless you are lefty, you cannot eat with your left hand. Left hand is for you to wipe your behind. That's how we say in our country. It's clean yourself. Wipe your behind. You use your left hand to wipe your behind. So you cannot use your left hand to eat. It is always your right hand. Unless you are lefties, you cannot do it, right? So Torgbui, that's right, right? Obi mi gbanoza a lot. You want a lot. Do see also Devi make Olano Fion Devia. Yeah. So we have some people here, even your children, they're always using they're not lefties, but they're using their left hand to pick up food. No, do not allow them to use their left to pick up food. Left hand is to cleaning and doing, but right hand, they're supposed to use their right, especially when you are with elders, you have to use your right hand, to pick up food. Anything that goes in your mouth, you have to use your right hand to do that. It shows respect. It shows, it's like it's clean. Hygiene is hygiene situation. It's respect as well as hygiene as well. Torgbui, oglona chambena no Jason do numea no le drikudo alo via me viola so pusendwa so pusendo do aro nume nyanyane wa nyaoyo. Another thing we learn is you have to use your two hands to push your food in your stomach, in your mouth. Torgbui eske nyaoya. Is that whole true? Is that true?
Enua melolo.
What is alo what is so dream? It's your sorry, can't say dream.
Yeah, but I enjoy enu dudua. Ola chalo alake ali adem. That's number one. Choitia amadole le wabe culture ma.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Elle kotado menanama.
Kataro me.
Volta vau to suida.
Mle born in you.
Hygienic culture. Le hygienic culture me. Nature alomeve. Ale. Chochonwa. Nenwa contaminé. Ibe risque à edidi. Ne noa no contaminé. Ibe risque à edidi vire. Vire ube.
Asalo akota.
Ibe risque à esubo.
Yewa.
Nelly alekade enua melolota. Enua la pomo ayi keye untoha ola ijo enu rodua. Gogocha le mia evra ogboa. Mi mano pa magaho ano kasam na magaho. We don't do that. Ano ponupo o devituki le dunu ple ama pa machichi kwa. Ano ponupo dada hebi zurubaya olagle. Un papillon va y a. Direct. Tau. Allo amaduro allo metitia. Ela gwana. Comment on nous au point nous même kaka jama chichi to hadia. Nya be period yo kemizadoria enya no dudu baga.
Yewa.
Enya nya be silence periods.
Right.
Donc neighbor no duma omo pomo apagwan be nele ponu ponu ala ta pelio
Ela kenyo, c'est ça.
Ba na gagner de ville où a me fier respect.
No.
Me fier respect. Donc ano ponu po a o ma wane ama ha mi a check please le ka na mi avio na mi a check now wanye pakpala wa hocho vive meke.
Yeah, Torgbui akpe kaka. That's what Torgbui is. It is confirming you have the two hands because our mouth is not too big to be putting your whole 5 fingers in your mouth, right? So that's why it's recommended you put your 2 fingers at least to push your hands to do that, to make it easier. And Torgbui is saying that it even helps because back home it's different, right? So hygiene situation, like if you have infection and stuff, it's safer to use 2 hands to put in your mouth than putting all fingers into your mouth. But it is important that Torgbui is saying it's important that we teach our children that it is important that you don't use your left hand to touch food. It's respect and hygiene. Obviously, you always have to have your right hand to touch food. And Torgbui is saying that's one thing I was going to bring up. Torgbui brought it up already. He's saying when you are talking, you are eating. You're not supposed to be talking. It's disrespect as a younger person. When you are eating with elders, you're not supposed to, everything passes, you have to say, you speaking and you eating and you speaking. No, you can even get, you know how you're going to be eating, you're going to have, issues with you're going to have that, because that's why when we are talking normally, we're not supposed to speak unless somebody, I don't know, adults now, we can do it in this country. But when we are sitting eating with the adults, with elders, we don't speak. We do not speak. The elders speak to you, ask you a question, you can answer. But it's not to you to be bragging and just, yapping. No, you don't do that. It shows disrespect. So you have to be, our children needs to know, Torgbui is saying our children needs to learn as they're growing up that when they are at the table eating with elders, they should, silence is the virtue. Silence is a virtue. So as we speak about speaking, even in life, even in with elders, without eating, right? We are not supposed to be speaking unless we are spoken to. You know what I mean? Like when you are among elders and you are among older people, you are not supposed to be speaking unless that you are spoken into. And that's just what it is. In America, in abroad, when you don't do that, people, it's a negative thing. Any negative le miabe du me fie Torgbui le Europa ne amole pompo vo mi omle pompo a. It shows that you are shy or disrespect. Alors que nyagboa, it is respect. You are giving your elders respect. So I want everybody to know that sometimes people might look at you abroad like you are weird and you are being disrespectful, but that is respect that we have back home. So if you see people, African people doing this, don't think that is disrespect. It is respect. It's the other way around. That's how we will learn that with your elders, you're supposed to respect them by not speaking too much unless you are spoken into. So, et puis Torgbui ke kombe mi le glo anu popo benya kote bude chanle ya enyi bena anokwa meling amebe nkume tog amega ho le pompo na anokwa nkume ne leke enyi echanyi disrespect normalement mi dola no wo enti miabe mina bo leke miabe nkuvi mja no po amea be nkume leke parce que enyi disrespect allo Torgbui mnya allo enyabule asakwe ya
le miagbɔ le Afrika nembe enye ɖevi ye ametsitsi le ƒona wa womano kple ŋku ɖe dzi anɔ kpɔ eme ŋkume gã leke o wola bɔbɔ ta vi ɖe bɔ enya ke ye ama le gblɔa anɔ se ne hiame na ɖo tia anɔ ɖo bɔ anɔ kpɔ ma kpla le alea mele mia même tɔtsa le mia magagble ke mia me nye the Yoruba and Fon origin ne be ya na srɔ̃ tɔtsa wòla dzeklo la bɔbɔ ta ne be ya ado gbe na tɔwo alo tɔtsa wòla dzeklo la bɔbɔ ta hafi la do gbe ne donc ne me wòle le mia gbɔ ma vɔ le mia gbɔa ne ma le gblɔ be mele ne donc miawo le Afrika miawo be culture nye ma especially manɔ specific especially Fon and the Yoruba culture ele miawo ma le eveawo gbɔ tsa ele eveawo gbɔ tsa donc tsɔ fly ɖe kɔtabuwo me tɔa ne me dem kaka voa Fon Yoruba, Eve.
Mm.
Eve, especially the Anglos. Anglos, Elewagbo. Mobo, Mobo, Kakao. Mobo,
Okay.
Kakao, Mobo. No Pontocha, Devi Mananasi, Amachichio. Le Nako, Fon, Yoruba, Anglo. Devi Mananasi, Amachichio. Neighbor, Amachichio, ya Dogbene, Ola Tote. Ye Ola Dogbene, Club Bubu. Ye le Bodoto Mahala, Omano, Dampuri, Gilaka, no Ponkubi.
Yeah.
Mais, we have your attention. You have full attention.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Omudo draw her land near law. Amajichela gba male ukpo. Vinye efo. Lemia to south. Boa. Devi magbanana amajichibe efo. No. No.
Actually, lista, Jimmy Labla next time. We're gonna get through that next time. It's on my list. Yeah, you cannot do that. Yeah.
Doctor Lemia Boa Gerelia Lia Conta Elenti.
Yeah.
Conta Talentinto.
Yeah.
Donc, ne be kwa daria kemia gabacho egbedodo mo bi bobo yo kele mi agbo mi taye mi agbo ojiji na do bukata mi agbo ple.
Yes. Yeah.
Any lesson
Yeah.
le dokushi
Right.
ma wayi be de le canal plus vai
Okay.
anya be mi are ya anya be mi are repeat live.
Yeah.
Live, le chat when you call Beshena G.
Right.
Persiana TV G live.
Mm.
Ale ke nyaba bo chichina ni doni dewa maruna do kaka ehuna va glao we are
That is so true. That is so true. Oh, Yehovah.
We want to die for our culture and we want to die for our culture.
Yes, that's so Torgbui is saying, okay, so we're gonna come back. Silence is a virtue, and what we were saying is, I said, in our culture, you're really not supposed to be looking in the eyes with your elders. Here it is disrespect. In abroad, it shows as disrespect, but with us in Africa, our culture, it is respect. You are respecting your elders for bowing down. Your eyes is down, but you are paying attention, because when they are talking to you, you have your eyes down, you're still responding to them, you're still talking to them. That means you still have their attention, you're still giving them the respect. That's how it is. It's different way of greeting, different way of behaving with your elders. And sometimes people say that you're into greeting until a car can even come and struck you. You are still greeting. Even after that, you're still greeting. Your greeting is never finished. It's not done yet. But we're going to discuss that next time. I'm going to write it on my list. We're going to discuss that next time, because there's so much to how we greet people, how we are supposed to do it in our Yoruba side, in the away side, and all of that. So we're going to bring it back next time and discuss that. But right now we're going to end it here. But it is very, very important. I want people to understand, if you're not an African, you have somebody, every time you're talking to them, they're looking down. It is not disrespect. It's just how they're raised. That's how we are raised, is respect. So that, you get to know that it is a respect to you. When you are not looking in their eyes, it's a respect to you. When you are silent, it is respect to you. It is not disrespect. We are not supposed to do that. That's how we respect our elders. So we're going to end here. It's a lot more to discuss, but right now we want to share this with you. But next time, Torgbui, we're going to come back and we're going to carry on, because this is one of the part of our African culture tradition that is very, very important to me. Like I said, I carry all of these today. So it is important that we don't lose it. So it is very important. We're going to come back and carry on with these. But if you're online and you're just joining us, you have to go back and watch this. You really, especially if you have children, You need to go back and watch this before you come back next time. Make sure you share with everyone you know. Make sure that you invite somebody to learn. These virtue. This is golden. These tradition, these small things that we are sharing here is golden. It's very, very important for us to carry on and to learn from Torgbui. So Torgbui, I'm gonna let you close out your last comment so that I can come back and then repeat everything so that and give people summary. So Torgbui, you have the floor to greet people. Thank you very much for joining again, Torgbui. I thank you. We thank God for lights. God said
Yeah,
that
yeah.
there was light, and God said there was light. There was light. We have light
Let there
today,
be
so we
light,
thank God.
and there was light.
Let there be light, and there was
Let
light.
there
We
be
said, let
light
there be light.
always.
Always, always, always. So
That's all. On Bakoya, Mia Dakman, Mau Galaji, you see.
Amen.
The and that is
Yes.
the Eddie. Mi
Yes.
Dakpe, Nemu Polau, the Owe Namili, Wo no Meliwa, Mio Mima no you, donc I mi Dakpe now. Ma Dakpe, Dr. Chachu, Ple Chate Nicole, Meshena, Diana TV Kata. Miaba manyanyo kple manyamanya yo kata ko gbele na mi kwa da kpena mesi so idia nu ya wa miano mai ano mai ne ba ko even nigba keke Africa nigba keke me ne hia to cha miano traduit fa ni da kpena mesi amelo
Akpe Torgbui. So we thank you. Winston, wisdom, akakpo. Akpe kaka weva kame kudomi. You see, egbe ya mi do gengbe na mi do vegbe na. Enyi so be mi ado vegbe na a black bay donc anyam le do vegbe na egbe ya. Mina, thank you for watching us here. Akpe no kaka we no kame kudomi. Mi ato mdakpe na mi. Right now, dakpena be mi lo kame kudomi. Mi do la trova dimanche prochain. Mi do la trova Torgbui le ja trova le ma oben come. Mi la continue éducation ya kudomi ato into mi lo trova kame. Mi plo mi abe view a mi se amene no kame. Mi ava 16h ou bien 21h GMT le Ghana abe Ghana Togo Benin Afrique kwe kemile. Mi ava kame kudomi mi avo. Eya voine mi do kame kudomi ke mi ke poti o wa mi po nsi anu wa de kuku mi partage mi tro yi mi atro po eke ele vevere ne question de le mi asia mi mulado da mi so do commentaire mi ma répondre na mi sia so présentement comme Torgbui blanc no kwatale begbe mi ama no résumé vidéo donc à mi la dogo dimanche prochain à 16h ou bien 21h. Guys, family, Afri-Culture family, Siana TV family, Chatting Wonoko family, I thank you. I am very excited when we are talking about these things here. I am super, super excited to be talking about tradition, our upbringing, our education. Today, we talked about accepting gifts with two hands. It shows gratitude and so many more. We need to, we call the next day to thank, the person who done something to us. It is very, very important to show gratitude. While there is you show them that you appreciate it, not just that you love it no matter what it is, because that person to give you something, it's a big deal. It shows testimony as well. We respect elders, and we talked about eating. When you eating with your elders, you're not supposed to start the food unless your elder started first. You're not supposed to get up when you are done until your elder done. If you're a host, you're not supposed to leave your guests while they're still eating. You're not supposed to leave the house while your guests are still in the house. It shows that if you leave, you finish eating, you get up, you're telling them they're eating too much. They need to finish eating. You don't want to do that. And if you leave the house, it's like you're telling them to leave. You know what I mean? So there are these things that Torgbui talked to us is very, very important. Eating with two hands, eating with, what I mean, your right hand instead of your left hand. Unless you're lefty, it's important to eat with your right hand. It shows respect. So you have to do that. And also, Torgbui also told us about, the gratitude, how we thanking people. This is the thing that I learned. He said that married couples, when after you are done with your husband, you may love with your husband. You're supposed to say thank you. No matter how it is, no matter how, if it's too long, if it's too short, if it's too good, it's not so good, it doesn't matter. Torgbui is saying you're supposed to say thank you to your husband after you are done, because this give him the strength and the will to do even better next time. He said your husband will never forget. If you are a woman who always thank your husband after you make love, no matter what it is, no matter how it is important that we in our culture, we're supposed to thank our husband. Some of us, by the time, I'm not saying some of us because I don't have a husband yet, right? Some people, by the time even you finish, you're like, is that all you have? Complaining about, no. He said, Doctor, just thank him. It should have been longer. It's too short. Don't complain. Just thank your husband. So I learned something new today. So thank your husband after you made love, after your time with your husband. Thank him. That is something that Torgbui taught us today. So we need to remember. Married women, remember this. And married husbands, if you hear this, let your wife hear this. Send this link to your wife so that he can hear it from Torgbui himself. All right. So we have to just, these are things that we're supposed to be silenced. When, elders are talking, you're not supposed to, as a young person, you're not supposed to, just your talk, blah, blah, blah. You're not supposed to do it. You're supposed to respect them. And you're not supposed to be looking in their eye like this. You're supposed to, honor, humble yourself, but be attentive to them. You're not supposed to shake an elder's hand. They're supposed to greet you. All these good things that we learned today, it is very, very important. It is not done yet. I have a whole list. We're going to come back and you can see Torgbui started already. It's a lot more we're going to discuss when we come back next Sunday. So I want you to share this with everyone you know. Please share. That's all we are doing here. We don't want this to be a waste of time. It's not a waste of time. So I want you to hear. I want you to subscribe to the channel. I want you it's 2 channels, Chatting with Nicole and Sienna TV. Subscribe if you have not already. And I also want you to check out the other topics that we have out there. And I also want to share Claude, Tete. So Claude, thank you. You say you hear us, very good topics. We thank you for joining. We thank you for being online. Please share with somebody, share the link with somebody, and invite somebody to join us next Sunday. And make sure that they got caught up with this before they join us next Sunday. But until then, I want to say thank you for everyone, all of you for joining us today. I thank you. I appreciate you being here with us. I appreciate you sharing. I appreciate you, subscribing to the channel and being here and teaching somebody. Talk to somebody about this. All right. So we thank God for the light in Togo today. We thank him for the light for Torgbui. We thank him in advance for next Sunday light. So that we can carry on. We thank everybody for being here. But until then, I want you guys to stay safe and blessed. And I'll see you on Afri-Culture on Sienna TV, Chatting with Nicole, right here next Sunday. Don't miss it. Bye.